Do you guys want to play a little game?
Yes.
Do you want to play this guy or that guy? And we'll
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I love games.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. So let's do 10 guys.
Okay.
There's a lot. I have 9 picked out here. Okay. We got to pick one more. I'll give you a list of names. You tell me who you want to pick as the last guy in the top 10 here. Okay. Do you want Keaton Slovis from Pitt? Do you want, and I'm not counting guys who've committed, right? So I'm not counting Bachmeyer and Yurkovich and those guys. Okay. Do you want Keaton Slovis? Do you want Andy's boy, Austin Reed?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want Drew Pine?
Yep.
Hank Bachmeyer or Haynes King for the last spot?
I let's put Austin Reed in there. Although he's headed to Louisville, right? That's not a done deal?
I think he's going to make a decision on Tuesday.
Okay. I had been told that where Jeff Brom wound up is probably where he winds up. So
well, look at Scoops Staples over here. Okay,
I'm thinking it's Louisville.
All right. So do you want Slovis? Do you want?
Did you just Hank
Bachmeyer?
Bachmeyer? Yeah, that's who I would have chosen.
Let's take Bachmeyer.
Okay, Bachmeyer.
He played on a blue field, for God's sakes.
Okay, let's do this. All right. Would you rather have? How do you want? You just thinking about this is your team, right? This is just
yeah.
You're building your own. Okay. Would you rather have Hank Bachmeyer or Graham Mertz?
You give me a hard one right off the bat, bro.
Well, here's a question about Graham.
I don't want to let
way
go.
Up the list.
I don't want to let go.
Right, Hank Bachmeyer Hank Bachmeyer's OC got fired in the middle of the season. That's when he hit the portal. Graham Mertz, it's hard to figure out. Was it because Wisconsin was falling off?
Where's the lag in the development there?
Right.
Yeah.
Wisconsin made a lot of changes. Like Joe Rudolph leaves, they hire a new OC. So I don't know that I want to pin everything on Graham Mertz.
The question is, do you still have hope that the guy can play?
That's what I'm saying.
At a very high level. Yeah.
Is there stuff we have not seen from Graham Mertz because he was not being developed properly? I lean toward yes. So I'm gonna say I'll take Graham Mertz.
Yeah, you're gonna throw a 5-star out there. What do you want me to do? I mean, I just can't let go. It's like I'm holding his hand, and I'm just pulling him back up over the ledge, man. I do think that like if you put him on a really talented
Graham, we were not wrong about you. We can fix this.
We can fix this.
But I also don't want it to be his fault because I feel like he's been raked over the coals.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Graham Mertz is advancing. Would you take Graham Mertz or Spencer Sanders?
Spencer Sanders.
Okay.
We've seen him produce.
I know there's a potential. He's one of those guys who'll do those oh no throws, but they become oh yes sometimes too. So I'll take that.
He gives you a lot in the run game too. Okay, would you take Spencer Sanders or Hudson Card?
Spencer Sanders.
I'm going tools. I'm going traits. Traits over production right now.
A few more years out of Hudson Card too.
Right. I have more eligibility.
Are we keeping in mind like who's more valuable based on the entire package or what quarterback you'd rather have?
Well, you guys just want to say whole package, or you want to say
then I'd probably take the multi-year eligibility. Then
that's a factor. That's absolutely a factor.
Then I'm with you.
Okay. Hudson Card advancing. Would you take Hudson Card or Luke Altmeyer?
Luke Altmeyer.
Both similarly. I looked this up today. So Hudson Card's played 500 snaps in college. Luke Altmeyer's only played 144. So we don't know. We saw him play a little bit in that bowl game last year. We don't have maybe as good. He's been well coached, but we don't necessarily know what is the full ceiling and floor there.
And Jackson Dart had a pretty good year, didn't he?
Sure.
So
it
wasn't like he was
Heisman finalist, but yeah.
I don't know if losing a battle to Jackson Dart means that you can't play.
It doesn't. It definitely doesn't. But that's the thing. I feel like we're into some pretty good territory here. Like we've got some good potential at this point where you could land a guy who could be your star quarterback.
And Altmeyer has 3 years, doesn't he?
Yes, because he has a COVID year.
So
I believe 2020 was his freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
So who are we advancing?
Let's go Altmeyer.
You're on Altmeyer. Okay. You're making this ranking really easy.
Well, I was going to go Card, but we've got to move on through the
but you're not dragging anybody up this thing. It's a pretty easy ladder.
Oh yeah. So far, so good.
Okay, so we're taking Altmeyer?
Yep.
Okay, would you rather have this is a fun one. Okay. Would you rather have Luke Altmeyer or Jeff Sims?
Ooh, I like Jeff Sims. Jeff Sims, I may drag up this thing.
Yeah.
My
Jeff Sims,
initial
I feel
thought-
like, is the kind of the not necessarily a hidden gem, but the guy that you feel like you put him in your system, give him another year of development.
He's
he
made
might
wild
be able to do
plays.
some really special stuff.
Yeah, Jeff Sims was my gut too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Jeff Sims is an interesting one. Jordan
Obviously,
Travis
he
is
had dealt
coming.
with injuries this year.
Like
too.
Jordan Travis is coming back at Florida State, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so he's coming back because remember Jeff Sims was committed to Florida State for a long time and then got cut loose and he ended up going to Georgia Tech. So, all right, so
Jeff Sims.
I think Jeff Sims is a very interesting one.
Okay. Would you rather have Jeff Sims or Brennan Armstrong?
Jeff Sims.
Jeff Sims.
Okay.
But eligibility and like if I would put Brennan Armstrong wherever Robert and I is.
Sure.
So-
I think that's probably the natural move for Brennan Armstrong. I don't know who else he's considering, but
Full
that seems like a
disclosure,
safe move.
I've had some shekels on a few Virginia games this year, and he drove me crazy. So like I'm biased.
but he was awesome in that offense, and Robert and I is taking over the offense at NC State. Like that makes a lot of sense if that's where he winds up.
Yeah, he is one of these guys that like you are kind of wondering, all right, so like which guy am I getting in his case a little bit, because in last year 4,400 passing yards, this year 2,200 passing yards.
But
It's a rough year.
Yeah.
Complete change in the offense.
Sure.
If you put him back in the offense that he was in before, with by the way some really good players, if he winds up at NC State, like it'll be better players that he actually had Jelani Woods on that Virginia team, so that they had a pretty good group of pass catchers, but he would have a very good group of teammates if he wound up with an eye at NC State. So I think he'd be very productive. I just think he's probably set.
Yeah.
it would
Like we've seen as good as he can be.
Like and Jeff Sims has more eligibility, and I know I can get a lot out of him in the run game too if he can stay healthy. So I think I'm staying with Jeff Sims.
And you'll be the tiebreaker if Andy and I go in different directions.
That's fine. That's fine. All right, so we're taking Jeff Sims. All right, here we go. Stars mattering. Jeff Sims or DJ?
Jeff Sims.
Ooh. Oh, you're going potential because you feel DJ's hit a ceiling.
I think DJ is who he is.
I think you're right.
I also think that DJ could be a hell of a weapon as a runner. You'd have to beat the hell out of him, but I think that he would be a really hard person to stop if you had a.
So you're saying in the Chip Kelly offense?
Yeah, I just don't know if DJ has the skill set to do what we saw DTR do the last few years. Like that's not DTR.
All right, we know you want to run a power spread, so can DJ be your guy, your trigger man for that?
I mean, I think so. Through that offense, I just think that he makes weird decisions and he has a wow moments, but he has a lot of what the hell are you doing moments. But if you're in a power spread, then you can just, you'll take your four. I mean, you got to remember, I covered 3 full years of JT Barrett. So like, I know exactly how good that can be if you put them in a situation where they have a ton of talent around them, which, say what you want about
DJ
Clemson.
has a much better arm than JT Barrett.
Clemson's receivers were average this year,
right.
They had a few guys like
Nyada's
good.
Wasn't walking through that
would
door.
you compare him to Cardell at all from what you've watched?
I think he's probably a more that's a pretty good comparison. Like if Cardale would have played long enough where it was just his offense, I think you might have gotten to DJ territory, which is why he flamed out so quickly in the NFL. The thing about Cardale that was so incredible was that he did what he did in an offense that was rushing for like 8 yards a carry in the postseason.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like we never got to see Cardale have to face any sort of pressure to make a play on his own. And he handled it mentally pretty well. Like he could have shrunk under it, but like people forget that he turned the ball over, I think 4 times in the national title game. And they still won by like 26.
That
it was like,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was a bizarre game. But like, if you have Ezekiel Elliott and that offensive line opening up the holes DJ would win a lot of games, and he did. Like DJ wins games. Like I feel like I've been really hard on him, and it's just like not because I think DJ stinks. It's just because the standard of the quarterback position at that place has been so high for so long, and when it was put on his shoulders when they didn't have. If we give
the kid
Ross
Travis Etienne, like how
Travis
different is it?
Etienne, like maybe it is, yeah. And Clemson isn't as dynamic offensively, but like in UCLA's offense, is that would you call that a power spread?
Oh yeah,
They'd tailor it to what he can do. Yeah.
yeah.
But as you guys know,
Yeah.
so many great relationships start with the foundation of I can fix him.
Well, the other thing about DJ that we're not
That's the DJ
factoring
challenge
in
here for whoever's taking him next.
is Mateo may be part.
Could be.
DJ may be a package deal with Mateo.
And if that's the case, then I would take him anyway. I would take him because
if you get an add-on, you're taking him.
Yeah.
If I get a 5-star defensive end who might be like,
well, no, I don't think Mateo's the add-on in this equation.
No, DJ's the add-on, but he's the add-on in this scenario here. But I also feel like if you take DJ as an add-on,
does Jeff Sims have a brother that could balance us out? That's a tough.
But like, imagine taking an add-on that has to start at quarterback for you. Like usually in recruiting, the add-ons like, yeah, we'll give him a scholarship and he can bring other 5-star players their food at.
Let me tell you, but one of the best add-ons I ever covered was Deontay Foreman at Texas. He's doing pretty well.
Oh my gosh,
yeah, yes. I actually was surprised, Max, that it's taken him this long, and even to get to this point, he had to get there from injury. But like I always thought he was a really good runner.
Oh, yeah, that last year was strong. Awesome. He was unbelievable. Yeah.
All right, so Max, where are we? We've gone.
We're almost done here. We're almost done.
Okay.
So you are taking
Jeff
DJ
Sims.
or Jeff Sims?
No, we're taking Jeff Sims.
Okay, Jeff. All right, here we go. Well, I'm trying to think of who should go last. Okay. See,
who should go last is going to give away who you like the most.
Well, I kind of want to play to your loves, though, too.
I feel like the two you're trying to choose between are both very, very good.
They are. Okay.
And these are the two that we would just debate.
We're taking Jeff Sims, or we're taking Devin Leary.
Devin Leary
has a legit NFL arm. He can move. He makes good decisions. I'm good with Devin Leary.
Yeah, it feels like I
also
all
feel
these
like
guys in this list. He does feel like the safest. Like I know he was banged up this year, right? I know the pec injury.
I was just going to say, if you don't have the injuries, we might be viewing him a lot differently than we are right now, too.
Not viewing him at all in the transfer portal. We're viewing him in the context
NFL,
of the
maybe
draft.
Yeah,
definitely. Okay, Devin Leary or Grayson McCall?
I still think I'm taking Devin Leary unless I run an offense that is suited for great. If I run a more run-based offense, if I have a lot of read option game or even triple option principles in my offense, I'll take Grayson because he's done that and he's so efficient in it, and he's such a good decision maker in that kind of offense. I will say I think Grayson can play in any offense. Grayson's not going to play his way to like a high NFL draft pick. Like he would have left college 3 years ago or 2 years ago if that were the case. This is in terms of physical tools, arm strength, all that, you're going to go with Devin. But the decision making, the toughness. I mean, Grayson's played through some injuries. Like,
what can we do?
Wouldn't you say too? Like both of these guys are just one thing you really want when you're making this move. I feel like these are two highly motivated guys going into 2020.
Yes. And now Leary's physical traits are going to be better. So you just have to. You're going to have to make your peace with that if you're taking Grayson. But you can tailor an offense around Grayson that will be very versatile. They can do a lot of things. If you got a couple backs that are good, like they did a lot of 2-back type stuff, or they'd have a tailback and an H-back in the backfield at Coastal Carolina. There's a lot of stuff you can do. And then look, Grayson may just be going to go play for Jamie Chadwell at Liberty. I don't know. But my guess is he's got some bigger name programs reaching out to him right now.
I just want to do whatever we can on this podcast to get McCall to Wisconsin. Like, can we do that?
Because, man.
Could you imagine?
Phil Longo's offense?
Phil Longo, Grayson McCall, and Luke Fickell all in one place next year? That'd be a hell of a storyline to follow.
SC Scout guy says all the local media in South Carolina saying he might be going to Auburn. So that'd be Philip Montgomery, the Baylor offense, essentially. That could work too. Read option. He will be a run threat because he's a very good read option decision maker. Or I mean, at Coastal, it's more of the triple, but quarterbacks understand, like, if you can read a defender coming at you to do the pitch and to do the dive, you can do it for a regular read option mesh too. So instincts are instincts, and he's got
them. Now, what's your read on, like, obviously, Andy, in that like recruiting pitch? If you're Hugh Freeze, you're selling him on look what I did for Malik Willis, but how much do you think it's like a Freeze offense versus like a Montgomery deal?
It's a good question.
If you had to guess today, I mean, I know it's too early to say.
They kind of mesh together though at a certain point.
Yeah.
There's a lot of principles that are similar. So, the Malik Willis comparison is you can't make it because Malik Willis has a kind of top half of the NFL quarterback's arm.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So that's a different.
I mean, he has insane physical natural traits.
He does.
Yeah.
I mean, I
But
saw him at the
ultimately, they
Elite
got
11
him
last
drafted
year.
in the kind of place Grayson's trying to play his way into. You know?
Yeah. No, I think that's could you imagine that with Freeze and Auburn?
But the thing is, Malik would have been drafted higher had he had a better final season at Liberty.
Sure.
Yeah.
But because of his traits, he dropped because he had a bad year in the last year. But his traits were off the charts. That's why he was being talked about as a potential number one, or potential first round draft pick. It didn't end up working out. He actually ended up getting drafted about where he should have by the Titans.